Hey, Vision Chasers, Dr. Bird here. Hope you're doing well. On your road to your vision of success and beyond, there is going to be trouble. It's going to be trouble. And by trouble, I'm talking about anything that would kind of delay your pursuit of your vision of success or things that would cause disappointment in regards to your pursuit, and just moments of just temporary moments that may seep into your head of doubt. So there's going to be trouble on your pursuit. It happens to all of us, and I don't want you to feel bad, and I don't want you to entertain negative thoughts for any amount of time just because you're dealing with trouble as you pursue your vision of success and beyond. What I want you to do is I want you as a vision chaser is I want you to be able to appropriately process what's happening so that you can eventually move forward. Let's begin. Our quote of the week this week is worry often gives a small thing a big shadow. Worry often gives a small thing a big shadow. Now, we can spend time dwelling on the fact that, I made a mistake, or, I came up short. It didn't happen this time. We can spend a lot of time dwelling on those things and why things didn't go our way. And let me tell you, worrying, as a quote says, it can really magnify certain things, and it could really cause you to take your eyes off the prize if you let it. You see, it reminds me of a quarterback in football. Quarterback in football, when he takes the ball, he steps back. He's got to survey down the field. He's got to run through that play in his head to find an open receiver, find where he's going to throw the ball. But at the same time, he's got people who are coming after him who want to rip his head off. Now he knows that he has people in front of him protecting him, but that protection isn't absolute. It isn't perfect, and it isn't forever. So when that quarterback drops back to throw the football, he knows he has trouble coming his way. But what really impresses me about quarterback play is that, the really good ones, they're able to stand in there and do what they have to do, even though they know trouble is coming their way, even though they know that, they could get hurt really bad. It's possible. It's possible that they could get hurt really bad, but they stand in there. They trust. They have trust and faith in their people, and they hold on to the football as long as they need to, so that they can make the best possible play. Now, what does that mean for us? What that means for us is that we need to have the right mindset when it comes to trouble, when it comes to disappointment. We can't let those things be so large in our lives that it paralyzes us. It stops us from taking action to move forward, to move closer to our vision of success. Now, I want to share some things with you. I've got a brief presentation here. I promise. It's just one slide. Don't leave me. It's just one slide. So, just how to face trouble. These are some things that I want to share with you here. Number one, ask yourself, what is the worst that can possibly happen? Now, we're talking about in terms of your vision of success, trouble in terms of your vision of success. So keep that in mind, okay? Keep that in mind. We're not talking life or death or anything like that, but we're talking about in pursuit of your vision of success. You've hit a disappointment, you've hit a delay, and it's got like you're a little down about it. That's okay. You're human. It happens to me. All right. So how to face trouble. Ask yourself, what is the worst that can happen? Now, what are we doing here? We've got to win in our mind. You got to win in your mind, because when you face trouble, there's a lot of stuff that gets in there. There's a lot of attacks in your mind. So now you need to take charge of your mind, and you need to ask yourself, what is the worst that can possibly happen? Now, what I want you to do with these is I want you to spend time. This is an exercise. This is an experiment. I want you to spend time just dwelling on these questions. Maybe even write the answers down. As you're going through these questions. Number one, ask yourself, what is the worst that can happen? And speaking of writing it down, what I have I can show it to you right here. What I have in my office is a big notepad right here. This is a big notepad. As you can see, it's got paper. Actually, this one is blank, but it's got paper that you can like tear off, and you can write notes on it. Or you can use if you want to use your computer, you can use whiteboard. I use that to write notes as well, and just to brainstorm. So those are just a couple of ideas in terms of writing, or you can just write it down on a regular size sheet of paper. But I want you to write it down. Write down the answers to these questions. What is the worst that can happen? What's the worst that can happen? The next step here, prepare to accept the worst. Prepare yourself to accept the worst. Now, what I like about this is that it helps you to just wrap your mind around living your life in this scenario. Because I think what happens a lot is it's the unknown. It's the unknown that can cause paralysis when you don't know what's going to happen next. I think that can really cause people to just freeze up and just really doubt themselves, because there's just this unknown, and possibly it's because of a mistake that you made. There's an unknown that's coming around the corner. Possibly you're trying to recover from some mistakes that you've made in the past, and then your mind is just playing tricks on you, saying, see, I told you this wouldn't work out. So prepare yourself. When you prepare yourself to accept the worst, you are training your brain to live in this reality. Like this is coming. So brain, I'm getting you ready to accept this. And when we're accepting this, I don't want any negative thoughts, because what you're going to do, the last thing here, it's just one slide, I promise you, is you're going to try to improve the worst. Try to improve the worst. I love this. I got these 3 tips from a book, and I'll leave the title of the book in the description section because I can't remember the name of the book right now. But I love this because I've talked about it many times. Your actions, that they come from your thoughts. From your thoughts and feelings come your actions. So if you are stressing out, you're freaking out because you've experienced a bump in the road, possibly due to a mistake that you made, or maybe it's something that's just unexpected. It's trouble. You're experiencing trouble, and you're having a hard time with it. So what you need to do is you need to step back, and you need to get your mind right. You need to get control. You need to regain control of the situation by retraining your brain and going through this process and asking yourself the question, what is the worst that can happen? Okay, that's the worst that can possibly happen. I don't like that, but what I need to do now is I need to prep myself. What are the things that I need to do to adjust, to prep for this new reality? Okay, this new reality is on the way. How can I make it better? How can I soften the blow? And definitely with that last point, you want to be able you want to position yourself to learn from what has happened, especially if it's a mistake that you made. Because ultimately, when you go through these times, what happens is you are equipping yourself with information. You're equipping yourself with experience for the future so that when the next time something similar happens, you can say, oh, wait a second. I remember I dealt with something like this 5 months ago. And this is what happened and this is where I am now. So it's a deal, but it's not a big deal, and it's not going to stop me from pursuing my vision of success. Well, Vision Chasers, that's what I have for you today. I want you to think about that. Use this experiment, use this to help you get over disappointment, get over those times of trouble, and move forward. Well, until we meet again, please don't forget, keep chasing the vision.